around 2005 from what the best I saw. And then you came down to Costa Mesa Speedway like every week. Yeah, because that was the year I came back, and my last comeback was 2005, the beginning. And every week I would see who? Chris Kerr. And you were there every night. And I was just coming back, and I would be working on my bike in the pits. And then I would hear like your name being announced by the announcer, and they say, Chris Kerr is winning the race. Chris Kerr, the winner. And I'm like, God, that guy's good.
Yeah, that was the last year that I was here before I went to England, and I had a good sponsor down there in LA, so I was able to just drive down and ride a bike down there. I didn't have to load up prep bikes from here, so it was a good year, and had some good help that I could actually get a lot of racing in. So yeah, I was race Friday night up here, get up, drive down Saturday morning to LA and race, and then drive straight back to Auburn. So I mean, it's a nice 7-hour drive, and especially if you didn't have a good night. So it's a long drive to think about how the race went.
So you didn't fly from John Wayne Airport? No, you didn't take the airplane. You drove all the way.
No, drove every time.
Wow, that's a long drive. I drove that a few times, and that's a long drive.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, it's not too bad once you've done it 100 times or so.
And it's not too bad if you win a main event and you go home.
Yeah, exactly. It's not too bad of a drive then.
You were really. I remember that season. You were really tearing up the track. I'm not joking. I know most of the people watching probably are like, yeah, whatever. But Chris was tearing it up, man. This guy was on fire. And he was literally just burning up Costa Mesa. And he rode like every night, right? You rode like every night.
Yeah. I did every race. So yeah, it was Auburn and then straight down there. So I rode a lot that year, and that was the year, my last year here before I went overseas. So it was good experience. It's the laps and the track time, the race time that I needed. Yeah, so it was good. Actually, I didn't do as good here as what I did over there as far as my skill level and my racing. My style never really suited the small tracks as well. I do a lot better on the bigger tracks. I feel more comfortable on the bigger tracks, and so it definitely opened things up when I was able to go overseas and race over there.
Well, you were pretty hot on the small track. I know we all have our favorite, tracks and stuff, and of course the small track isn't really your favorite, but not knowing that, you did pretty dang good, Chris. So that was awesome. Really, honestly, I'm saying that as a rider, watching you race in 2005, I was like, this guy's badass, like this guy's good. So, and you didn't even like that track. So
yeah,
cool.
No, I love Costa Mesa. That track is awesome, but my style just I don't do as well on the smaller tracks. Just being bigger on a bike, and Speedway's not a tall man's sport. It's definitely easier for the smaller riders. So being taller is a little bit tougher. It's easier to ride the big tracks when you're taller, for sure. You don't gotta be as cramped up. You can let the bike run, and it's easier when you're tall.
Yeah. When I was about your age, I rode the big tracks too, and I'm a little taller, about like your size, and I just love the big tracks. They were so much fun. I raced at Santa Ana Bowl and other tracks like that, the quarter mile, and it was fun. I mean, just opening it up and just riding it as a big guy. It's nice, right? It's nice.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. And that's kind of why I only race a couple times a year, because I'll go down and race Paris with Steve Evans, because that track's bigger. You got a little more room to run, and it's prepared well. And even if there is a hole or something somewhere, you've got some time before you get to the wall. So whereas all the other tracks, I mean, it's you grab any traction, you're in the wall.
Exactly.
So
yeah. So tell us about, you were a member of the 2005, I think it was 2005 or 6 or 2005 Dream Team with Steve Evans. You guys went to the UK, and you raced against. This is before you went. Here you are. You're up here in that picture somewhere. He's
Yeah,
a
I'm in the
handsome
back.
guy. He's probably the back guy because he's tall.
Yeah, I'm on the back right.
You're in the back right there. You are the good-looking guy. That's right, Chris Kerr. There you are. Tell us about that time. What happened with the Dream Team? What was your experience?
That was awesome. That was our first, all of our first trip to England. So it was cool to get to go and race there as an a young American team, and see all what real speedway is like. I mean, because what we grow up with here isn't real speedway compared to the professional racing over there. And
Mhm.
so it was cool for us to get to go and see and ride the bigger tracks and see what professional speedway was all about. And besides the racing, we did get to go. Besides us racing against the National League teams, we got to go watch some of the big races, and that was eye opening. Really, I think one of the first races we went and watched was the Elite League Pairs at Peterborough, which is one of the bigger tracks in England, and it was all the top Elite League riders in that race, and it was definitely eye opening watching how fast those guys are. It was just a whole different level. It's a different world seeing that in person versus growing up watching the races here. So it was a good trip. It was a good trip. I did well in that on that series, and got the attention of some of the promoters, and then I did just like a month or two after the Dream Team ended, I went back and did the World Under 21 for America in Czech Republic, and I ended up fourth in that quarterfinal race, and
Wow.
then went to the semifinals, and I didn't do as well in the semifinal. That was in Italy, but I got to travel and see it, and then that next year I was able to sign for a team in England and then go over full time. But that Dream Team tour is kind of what started it all.
Wow. And Steve Evans was a part of that, right? He was promoting that.
Yeah, he helped set that up, and with one of the other promoters, Lawrence Rogers over there, they got together and kind of organized the whole series. So
Nice.
it was awesome to see. It was, hopefully they can get back to it and do some more of that, because it's a good introduction for all the young kids to go over and see it. And it's kind of the most cost effective way that they're going to be able to do it, and it's like as a big group. So it's not a cheap trip to do, but
No.
it's probably the best way to make it happen.